Again, we apologize for the technical difficulties. I mean, it has been a whirlwind with the internet here at the stadium, trying to get the stream to go. We'll fill you up on what has just happened. First play of the drive for Tennessee started at the 22-yard line, and they advance it to the state 40 on a 36-yard pass complete to Mike Matthews. So Tennessee has a first down at the Bulldog 40-yard line. Bradlin Lanier was hurt on the play. He's walking off on his own power now. And, again, we just apologize for the stream, shutting down and then starting one back up. There's nothing we can do about it. Just the internet has been spotty here at the stadium.
Third time's a charm. You know what they say. Hey, we're having some fun out here. It's okay. We'll get something going here. Hopefully the Wi-Fi kind of cooperates with us. But they had that big chunk play because we weren't calling the game. We got to continue to call the game right, and hopefully State can hold them here.
First and 10 for Tennessee, shotgun set. A play fake. Aguilar looking to throw. He is sacked. Man, what a sack by Zachary Tillman. Big-time sack for him. And the Bulldogs with a big sack on first down.
That's what you love to see right there. You gave up a huge chunk play, and Coleman Hutler said, I'm going to call something right here, right now, to get into Tennessee's head. And we got a 2nd and 17, a 2nd and long, might I add, very long. And we just got a sack right there for Mississippi State.
First sack of the season for Tillman. Had 3.5 last year, which led the Bulldogs. 2nd and 17. Aguilar in the shotgun. Peyton Lewis is his back to his right. He will throw. Looks, fires to Kitzelman. Intercepted on the tip. Jerron Manning down the near far side sideline of the 45 and all the way to the Tennessee 42-yard line. A flag thrown after the play, and it might be 15 yards on Tennessee.
We're going to have 15 yards tagged onto that, possibly, just possibly. And Mississippi State's going to be in field goal territory, so if something happens, you get and hopefully tie the ball game.
Interception return, but it's definitely a big 15-yard penalty. That ball tipped off the hands of Kitzelman and into the hands of Jerron Manning for his first pick as a Bulldog this season, the transfer from Old Dominion. And Mississippi State is in prime territory right now, and the defense makes a stop again when they needed it the most. We talked about creating turnovers. There's a turnover for Mississippi State.
You're winning the battle. You got to love the transfer stepping. Let's see what the transfers can keep doing. And Mississippi State as a whole, let's win this ball game. Come on now.
State will start at the 26 of Tennessee. Shotgun set, Bothwell in the backfield. Handoff to him. He'll go outside to the right. Takes it to the 20. Now down inside the 20 to the 15. Down inside the 15 to the Tennessee 11-yard line.
Keep feeding them, baby. Bothwell's trying to eat himself a whole type of Tennessee soup today. And we're not talking anything special here. We're talking some grade A, running the ball down your throat football.
126 rushing yards now in the game for Fluff. First and 10 at the Tennessee 11. Evans in motion to the near side. They'll throw a swing pattern outside to him. Here's a race to the pylon. He cannot win the race, but takes it to the 5-yard line for a gain of 6. A productive play. State finally gets that swing pass to work, and they gain 6 here to make it 2nd and 4.
I think if you're Levy here, you just keep feeding the man. Let him run right here. You see what he can do right here. Get him to that right side like you've always been doing.
See what State does here with Bothwell still in the backfield. Mosley in middle of the 3-2. Goes touchdown Mississippi State. Man, what a physical run from Fluff. And the Bulldogs take the lead. What a swing of momentum again in this ball game.
You got to keep beating them. Oh, my gosh. If the energy isn't here, I don't know what is. If you don't keep beating Bothwell to keep him trucking, that's how you're going to win this ball game. You have been fantastic on the run. Continue to do so, and here you are up against the 15th ranked team in the country at Davis Wade Stadium. It's a beautiful sight to see.
Now they're going to review this, make sure he crossed the goal line. It was close.
It was very close.
And I don't blame them for looking at this, but even if, I think State will have a first down, and State will have it 1st and goal. So Mississippi State, we'll see if we can. Maybe the review will go our way and we score. If it's 23-20, Bulldogs after the review, hopefully y'all can hear us on the broadcast. Again, still going through some technical issues. After the review, they marked Bothwell short at the half-yard line, so it is a first down and goal. And State will have to push a half yard to score.
This has been rough today. We're going to see what we can muster up right here.
Off to Bothwell, fighting for the end zone. He's in this time. Touchdown, Mississippi State. No doubt about that. 23-20 Bulldogs.
Let's keep the momentum going. The energy's here. You just double down on that energy, baby. You just said, hey, you didn't give us the touchdown the first time. We're going to get it the second go round on the first play, and that's exactly what happened. Mississippi State is going crazy. The fans are going nuts. The cowbells are ringing. The voices are being heard, and now we are up against the 15th ranked Tennessee Volunteers.
They're waiting to let the PAT go ahead. I think they're still looking at it in Birmingham. It looks like we do have a Bulldog down as well. That would be Albert Reese. You hope he's okay. Reese starting at right tackle today. And you hope that he's all right.
I mean, he's been really good for your run game today. You really need Albert Reese on that right side. You've had a lot of really good explosive running plays on that right side. We hope he's okay. He's been a really good person for that offensive line.
Yeah, he's done a great job, so I hope he's all right. He's being tended to. I think they've probably looked at it and counted the touchdown. So we're just kind of waiting on the injury here from Reese. I hope he's all right. I didn't exactly see what happened. It just kind of seemed like he just sat down all of a sudden, and then I noticed that he was down.
You know, them big boys down there, they tend to kind of hide their injuries a little bit better than the flashy ones. They kind of want to sit there down in the trenches most of the time, and that's exactly what Albert Reese did. Maybe he just wanted to get that touchdown first before he ended up sitting down having that injury. And look at him, he's walking right now. Hopefully he can come back later in the game and keep this run game going.
He's walking to the he's walking straight to the Bulldog locker room, man. You hope he's okay. It looks like he's grabbing at his wrist. So, I mean, something on his arm is hurt. I'm not going to make a judgment here because I have no idea. But man, you hope he's okay. Behind him, I mean, you probably would slide over, maybe put Javen James there, Jimothy Lewis there. So hopefully he's okay. But the PAT is good, and Mississippi State has a 24-20 lead after they get the interception at midfield from Jerron Manning and tack on a 15-yard penalty after the return, and they drive right down the field and score.
You came in here as the underdogs. I mean, you are the Bulldogs, but you're not the underdogs right now. You're up 24-20. You've really shown people that you're not the same team you were last year. You're here to compete in the SEC. We had a lot of people say, well, State might just need to get out the SEC because of last year's performance. I don't agree with that at all. You've seen what Lebby has been able to do with that 2-10 season last year, and he's been able to make a phenomenal run this year. You're 4-0. You're creeping into 5-0, 24-20 against Tennessee right here, and hopefully, just hopefully, you can keep this lead alive and go 5-0.
So I got kind of a look at the replay from the score from Fluff Bothwell, and you could see in the background of the replay, Albert Reese was kind of looking down at his right arm and was kind of shaking his right arm a little bit. So it's probably an arm injury,
maybe a collarbone type of deal.
Maybe some kind of maybe a stinger of some sort that maybe he just really can't move his shoulder as much. Maybe it is all arm. I don't want to speculate, but it looks like it's an arm injury for Albert Reese. He went back to the locker room. You hope he's okay. He brings a lot of experience at that offensive line, and like you mentioned, we have run blocked really well, really everywhere. So it would be a big loss if he can't come back into the ball game for Mississippi State, especially with how well we've been able to run the football.
And we pray he can get back as quick as possible because we still have a lot left of game to play today. I mean, Davis Wade Stadium is not getting more empty as the time goes on. And in fact, it's getting more full as the time goes on. Everybody's invested in what's been building this year for Mississippi State, and they don't want to miss it. You have perfect cinema played right here in front of your face, and they haven't beat Tennessee in a long time, and everybody's here to witness it.
We just hope, and I'll end it in talking about this, but you just hope Albert is okay. Like I mentioned, just a huge part of this Bulldog offensive line, brings a lot of depth.
We're waiting on the confirmation, but we just got told that Albert Reese might have a potential broken hand or wrist. We're waiting on that. We have a couple people down with the
don't want to get to.
There's what it might be.
Yeah, don't want to get, don't want to judge too quickly, but it did look like he hurt something involved with his arm, and the wrist hand involved with that right arm. We hope he'll be okay. He's a vital piece of this offensive line for Mississippi State.
And it's loud in this stadium right now.
It is very loud. It is very loud. Now, State is going to kick back to Tennessee. Kyle Ferry will be the kickoff man. He has handled kickoff duties this ball game really well. Touchbacks in every kickoff he has had. We'll see if he can add another one to his tally for the ball game. He runs up, boots this one through the back of the end zone for another touchback. So Tennessee will start their drive at the 25-yard line with 3:48 to play. The Bulldogs lead, number 15, Tennessee, 24-20.
At this point in the ball game, you have to erase everything out of your mind that has happened before 3 minutes and 48 seconds of the third quarter. You have to play just 100% third quarter football, and this is exactly what we have to see in your defense. Don't worry about what's already happened. Worry about what's going to come. Your offense did your job, so now you have to do your job on defense.
Joey Aguilar in a shotgun. Looks like Star Thomas is his running back to his right. They'll hand it off to him on 1st and 10. A pretty decent run there. Falls forward to the 30-yard line, a gain of 5, so definitely a good run on 1st down and 10 for Tennessee, who has been held or kept in check running the football today, under 50 rushing yards in the ball game. 2nd down and 5, they'll run the ball again. Gets out to the 35, Thomas does, up to the 40 and to the 41, so 16 yards in 2 carries for Star Thomas, and Tennessee maybe starting to get that run game going a little bit.
They're going super fast, trying to catch this defense off guard.
1st and 10 at the Tennessee 41. Play fake. Aguilar looking deep right. He's looking for Brazel. Pretty good coverage down there. And that is going to be a touchdown catch for Brazel. There is absolutely no way that's not a flag on Chris Brazel, and it looks like it is. There's a flag thrown at the 20-yard line. What a push-off by Chris Brazel. If he got away with that, I was about to lose it.
I know, and I got to calm you down if you start to lose it, Ty, because you're really passionate about this Mississippi State team, as is I, but we got to be careful what we say on this broadcast. We just got to kind of give it to the people.
You know who's going to be careful, too? If they do not call this and they take this flag back, if they do that, Jeff Lebby better be careful. And it is on Tennessee. It is on Tennessee. It'll be on Chris Brazel. I mean, that was one.
I mean, he stiff-armed him before the ball got to his arm.
You're exactly right. He pretty much stiff-armed the defender for Mississippi State. That was Jefferson, who played pretty good coverage on that. I mean, he was with him the entire way. We got a replay here on the on both video boards. Yeah, I mean, he threw him straight to the ground. Jefferson played great coverage right there. He threw him straight to the ground. That's the accurate call right there, and it'll back up Tennessee to their own 25-yard line. It'll be 1st down and 25. They're actually at their own 26. Shotgun set for the Volunteers. Star Thomas to the right of Aguilar, and they'll hand off to Star Thomas. Gains only about 2 yards on the carry, maybe only 1.
And they're right there at, that might have been the longest conversion play of the longest play to get to the 1st down of the game with 1st and 25.
Now you have a couple of injury situations for Mississippi State. Looks like Bradley Lanier is going to come back. He's actually in the ball game. Isaac Smith with a lower body injury, questionable for Mississippi State. So a couple of key dogs out right now. 2nd and 24 for Tennessee. Under 2.5 to play here in the third quarter. State leads by 4. Aguilar looking to pass. Fires caught. Far side, a great catch by Staley. But he's definitely well short of the first down marker up to the Tennessee 34-yard line. That first down marker at the Bulldog 49, so it'll be 3rd down and 17 for the Volunteers.
We're seeing so many injuries because these guys want to run through a brick wall for Levy, which is exactly what you want to see. They're playing their hearts out.
Keep an eye on the matchup down low here to the near side. Jefferson again on Chris Brazel. Tennessee in the shotgun. They'll throw, looking left the whole way. Star Thomas is there, but there's some Bulldogs right there. And they make the hit, and a hard hit at the 35-yard line, and Mississippi State is going to get off the field.
They're going to get the ball, hopefully, with pretty good field position as this punt's going to come out for sure. You can't go for it on 4th and long in your own territory. Josh Heupel would make a mistake against this Bulldog defense. They are electric tonight, and you can feel it. I mean, you can feel the energy, and I've said it a bunch of times throughout the game, but people are not giving up on Mississippi State, and that's exactly what you want to see.
A host of Bulldogs on the stop there for Mississippi State. Jerron Manning in there, Calvin Dinkins in there, Brandon Jennings, I believe, was over there, and Tennessee is going to punt. Jackson Ross punts it. State had a little pressure on that punt. Anthony Evans going to field. Really tough catch down there. He called a fair catch. And so Mississippi State going to take the ball at the Bulldog, looks like 17-yard line.
Yes. I mean, you got really good eyes for today. And I'm talking about how, well, I am talking about how they look, but just you've been able to see so much of the field, and I got prescription sunglasses on, and I really can't see just as much as you have. But yeah, it's the 17. I looked at the board for that one, so I had a cheat sheet.
So State will start at their own 17-yard line. They start this drive with Booth in the backfield. It's a pistol set for the Bulldogs, 2 tight ends and 2 receivers. 1:02 to play in the third quarter. State with a 24-20 lead. Their defense is just giving them the ball back here. They start from their own 17. Here's the snap, shaping hands off Booth. A lot of room up the middle, and it's a gain of around 7 yards on the play. Has 6 or 7 yards on the play. It'll be 7, 2nd down and 3.
Fast-paced offense.
Booth still in the backfield, pistol set. Handoff Booth, he'll stretch out to the right. He gets around the edge, takes it up to the 30-yard line, past the first down marker for the Mississippi State first down.
What we've noticed is on those wide receiver screens, the blocking hasn't been great, but on these outside runs, it's been fantastic.
Now the play clock is under the game clock, at least it should be. But no, actually, rather, State has an injury on this near side sideline, so I thought State was going to be able to run clock and get to the fourth quarter with a first down. But State's got an injury here on this near side sideline, and you know what? I think that's Anthony Evans who's hurt, and that's big because you've already got Brennan Thompson out for the ball game. Anthony Evans, your second best receiver, and he is going to be hurt right here. He hops up fairly quick, so hopefully he'll be okay. Bright side of it is you have ran the ball so well that you haven't had to rely on the pass game very much. Now, if it gets tight late, which it's already late right now, it's pretty tight. You need to have that pass game. You be confident in that pass game. So you hope that you can get Evans back out there. He'll come off the field for one play. If I had to guess, State will probably, if this play ends inbounds, State will take it to the fourth quarter. State lines up in the pistol, 2 tight ends. They will have to run a play here as the clock's running under 20 seconds, a 3-second differential between the play clock and the game clock. Booth will run a juke move up to the 30-yard line, and he stopped at the 33. He'll gain 3 yards, and that is going to take us to the fourth quarter here in Starkville. And if you think, Connor, that this place hasn't been loud yet, it's about to get loud right now to start the fourth quarter.
Now, Tennessee's defense was showing a lot of pressure during that run play right there, but what's so good about Booth is he's able to use his footwork to cut so well behind blockers that he was able to get, instead of a 3-yard loss, he got a 3-yard gain out of that play.
So it's 24-20. Mississippi State has the lead over number 15 Tennessee with 15 minutes to play in regulation. Man, just can't speak to how good Mississippi State has played today. They have struggled at times, but for the most part, they've been pretty daggum good. I mean, you look by quarter, Tennessee outscored State 10-7 in the first quarter, then State outscored Tennessee 10-7 in the second quarter, and State has now outscored Tennessee 7-3 in the third quarter. It's been a back and forth ball game. It's been a tough fought ball game between these two teams. These are two, and I can say it right now, Mississippi State is a good SEC football team. Tennessee is as well. These are two really good SEC football teams. They're battling it out here on the gridiron. It has been fun to watch. You hope that State can get the win. But, man, I want to talk about this while we have some time between quarters. How about that Mississippi State defense so far through three quarters?
You talk about it, Ty, and you are used to seeing with Jeff Levy such a great offense, but today we're going back to our roots. I have never in my life been able to say that Mississippi State has had a bad defense, but last year and this year, it is no different than the rest of my time being a Mississippi State fan. Our defense is playing fantastic. Coleman Hutzler, oh my gosh, has improved so much. Levy put so much faith in him and trust for him to come back a second season and really show him how good he could be as a defensive coordinator in the SEC. Kudos to the trust, and that's what this team is built on trust. Everybody trusts each other. The chemistry's there, and that's why we have a 24-20 ball game, Mississippi State.
You look at the yardage total, and I'm going to try and crowd to our mic because it's getting loud here. You look at our yardage total for the ball game. Tennessee has outgained us 325 to 276. But you look at that and you're like, well, they still gained 325 yards, Ty and Connor. Why are you talking about Tennessee State's defense being so good? It's because State has made stops deep in their own territory and been able to force field goals rather than giving up touchdowns. That has been big. And also another part that's been huge, State defensively has forced Tennessee to just only have 3 conversions on 10 attempts on third down. That is something we struggled with last year. We have been wonderful this game on third down and have forced Tennessee into really tough positions. We talk about the defense a lot. I'll wrap it up on the defense with this. I mean, they have just played wonderful. It really, and you hope they can complete that right here with a good fourth quarter. But, what's important is this drive right now. You have a chance to go up 2 scores with just a quarter to play in the ball game on the number 15 team in the country. That's going to feel really big on Tennessee, who struggled to finish drives in this ball game. You got to be able to move the football at least, Connor. Be able to kick a field goal and take a touchdown lead.
If you were to look at these stat columns for each team and kind of compare the two, you look at this game at face value, you say Tennessee's up right now just by looking at the stats. But the way Mississippi State has been able to stay in this ball game as the underdogs, as someone coming in here going 2-10 last year, you did not think you had the football team you had today, and now you can make a statement to go up even more than you are right now.
So it'll be 2nd and 7 for Mississippi State to start the fourth quarter. They lead number 15 Tennessee 24-20. 2nd and 7 at the Bulldogs' 33-yard line. They start in the shotgun. Booth in the backfield to the right of Shapen, and Evans in there back in the ball game after being hurt. He's to the left of Shapen. They'll put Traore in motion. Booth will try and run the ball and can't gain much. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. And that forces a tough 3rd down and 7 here for the Bulldog offense.
You kind of had a little bit of time to discuss with Shapen what you wanted to do for this offensive drive. So hopefully him and Levy are on the same page for this 3rd and 7 conversion and can keep this drive going and the clock going.
State 7 of 14 on third downs today. 50%. Here's a big 3rd and 7 for the Bulldogs. Shotgun set, Booth to the right. Traore motions to the far side. 2 receivers out to the far side. Shapen going to throw over the middle. Ball batted at the line of scrimmage and tipped down. And Tennessee is going to force a punt, and a much-needed punt for the Volunteers.
That's not what you want to see when you're Mississippi State, when all the momentum was on your side, but that's okay. You put the trust in your defense like you've been doing the whole game, and you have allowed, and I'm going to say it again, you've allowed every single team this season to 20 points or fewer on average, and you can continue to do that. So please have the trust in who you have on defense, and let's see Mississippi State get a stop.
Ethan Pulliam on the punt again in this ball game. He has been really good today. State fakes the punt. It's Sam West of the 45. First down, Mississippi State. What a gutsy call by Jeff Levy. Holy cow. State converts on a fake punt, and man, the momentum is just shifted right back to Mississippi State.
It's right back on our side, baby. The cowbells are going, the voices are being heard. You have a gutsy play call if you're Jeff Levy to call that play, and you know that it's been on your side. The momentum has this whole game just about. You do that right there, and it paid off, baby. Now everything, all the doubts have been crowded into the Tennessee defensive mind. You don't know what you are going to do if you're Tim Banks on this defense.
State with new life. Ball at their own 47, first down and 10. Bothwell in the backfield. State will play fake to him, and oh my goodness, shaping a sack. It's a fumble, and Tennessee is going to scoop and score, and the ball game's momentum is shifted right back to the Tennessee Volunteers.
It's crazy what one play can do if you're Mississippi State. I thought he handed the ball off right there. I got a little bit of fake, but oh my goodness, the blind side. I mean, he just got pancaked. I hope Chapin's okay. He walked off the field, but dang, that was a hard hit to take if you're Blake Chapin, who has injury history.
I mean, this crowd, me right now, absolutely floored. I can't believe that. State off of a fourth down fake punt, gained the first down, and then Tennessee with a sack, fumble, and a scoop and score. It's Tennessee's second defensive touchdown of the ball game.
Ties the defensive touchdown on the year.
And the kick is good. 27-24 Tennessee, 13-29 to play in the contest.
4 defensive touchdowns on the year. The only good, and somebody's injured again, man. This has been an injury fest. When you have your offense out there, you're able to keep their defense tired. They're getting a little heavy. So maybe there's a good thing to have on this. Your defense not going to trot out the field right now. You can keep resting them so that they can come out and make plays when they need to. You got to make a statement here on offense. You need something if you're Jeff Levy and company. You can do it.
Well, you look at those two plays. Could have been plays at the end of the game that you look back at and you say that changed the game. If things went well for State after that fake punt, you could have been like, hey, that play just changed the ball game, and it changed it for the rest of the game. But that play right there by Tennessee, if Tennessee wins this game, you're going to look back and you're going to be like, man, Tennessee just completely changed the game on that set play. I mean, that was just speechless is what I am. I cannot believe. I mean, the exact turn of momentum, 2 plays in a row from one team to another. I can't believe that.
You killed Chapin on that play. I mean, it looked like he got pancaked and they were serving him up for breakfast the next morning. It looked terrible, and I hope that he's able to come back out here with his winning mentality that he has had all season and make something happen, make some magic happen, because nobody's giving up on State. The stadium is just as filled as it was 2 plays ago. Nobody's giving up. We're still here. We're still investing, so we need State to do something.
Well, that was only the first second half sack that State's given up, and it comes at a bad time, and it comes at a cost with the sack fumble. That was on the fumble recovery and return. It was Joshua Josephs, who has had a pretty good game for Tennessee so far, 7 total tackles and a TFL, and then now he has a fumble return for a touchdown. But 27-24, Bulldogs trail Tennessee with 13-29 to play in the ball game. One thing, and I don't want to question play calling, but I will say on 1st and 10, I felt like we should have maybe stayed with the run there.
Too much play action. You're doing too much trickery.
I will say the play action, although you know it can help at times. It's been rough on. We haven't been able to be as successful with it just because it takes off about 0.3, 0.4 seconds of time in the pocket, it feels like, and that's really helped Tennessee get those 5 sacks today. But, man, you've been running the ball so well on first down. You just figure State would try and run the ball there. We elect to try and throw the football in a play action, and we pay for it. The blind side of Blake Shapen hit, and he fumbles the ball for a scoop and score for the Volunteers. So 13:29 to play in the ball game, and Tennessee leads Mississippi State 27-24. Turbyville on to kick back to Mississippi State. He kicks another touchback. State will start at the 25. Let's see if the Bulldogs can regather themselves, drive down the field, and get a score.
I don't want the ambitions in the minds of Jeff Lebby to become a dream. You could make a win against Tennessee reality. Don't let the dreams of winning this game get over you and become too ambitious. You do what works. You've been running the ball well. Do what works. You can make a statement here and win the ball game against a top-ranked Tennessee team. You don't have to be ambitious. You're the underdog going into this, but you don't have to play like it.
State will start on the far side left hash. Bothwell in the backfield, first down and 10 at the 25-yard line. Handoff to Bothwell. He's met at the line of scrimmage and falls forward for a gain of 1 yard. Javen James is now in at right tackle for State after Albert Reese was hurt earlier. Jimothy Lewis still at left tackle. He gave up that sack fumble. 2nd and 9 for the Bulldogs. Empty set. They will throw. Tennessee brings 4. Shapen got to get rid of it. He's got a man wide open downfield. It's Aiden Williams. It's caught at the 30-yard line. He falls down to the 25. What a throw, what a grab, and Mississippi State has split the field. They're at the Tennessee 25-yard line.
Blake Shapen did with that play with what he wanted. He didn't have much of a pocket to step up in. It was collapsing. He made the play. He threw it, and Aiden Williams had to come back to it, catch it, and now you're at Tennessee territory.
1st and 10 for State at the Tennessee 25-yard line. Bothwell now motions to the right of Shapen. Bothwell with the carry, gains maybe a half a yard. He at least got back to the line of scrimmage. That's where they're going to spot him. They'll spot him at the 25-yard line. It doesn't look like that hit affected Shapen too much. He delivers a great ball down the field. Wasn't in stride, but hey, at least it was on him to where we could make the play. Tennessee will mass sub on the defensive line. State has a 2nd down and 10 at the 25-yard line of Tennessee. Camario Taylor is in the game now in the empty set. We'll see if he runs the football. 5 in the box for the Volunteers. He will run the ball. Taylor takes it up to the 28 or down to the 28-yard line for a gain of 2, so it'll be 3rd and 8 for Mississippi State.
I don't mind that every now and then, but when you put Camario Taylor in, you're almost showing your cards. It was like a Mike Wright situation before where you're almost showing your cards every time you bring that backup quarterback in to run the football. You know it's going to be a run. You can prepare for it easily before the ball snap. I just don't know how much I like that play being called multiple times a game.
3rd and 8 for the Bulldogs. Shotgun set 2-by-2. Fluff Bothwell to the left of Blake Shapen. Here's a snap. Shapen, quarterback draw. Shapen slides down to the 24-yard line. It's going to leave State with 6 yards to go. I think you got to bring Kyle Ferry out there and kick the field goal.
You got to give trust to Ferry. He's been pretty much on point. He missed one of the field goals early, but so did Tennessee. So you got a little bit of you don't have any more room to play with. You got to make this field goal and tie it up and put it in the hands of your defense.
Ball on the 21-yard line, really splitting the 21 and the 20. It'll officially be a 38-yard field goal from Kyle Ferry from the right hash. Like you said, he missed a field goal earlier this half, made one in the first half. He's 1 for 2 today. This is a big field goal to tie the ball game up. Snapback is good. The hold is good. And the kick is good. Mississippi State ties the ball game up after a big throw to Aiden Williams, which gained 49 yards. State's drive does stall out, but they're able to at least get 3 on the board. They tie the ball game back up after the big scoop and score for Tennessee. A 6-play, 54-yard drive 2:58 taken off the clock. Mississippi State and Tennessee all square once again.
You took a little bit of time off the clock. We understand that Levy can pretty much score really quick if he has to, and that was a pretty quick score right there. Your defense has been resting. You have a lot of time for your defense on the sideline. Now you have to go out there and play like you've been sleeping a couple games, like you got the energy you've had for sleeping longer than you're used to. You've rested. You're well rested, about as well rested as you probably can be at this point in the game. Go out there. Let's hold Tennessee, get the ball back in the offense's hands, and hopefully take the lead against a top-ranked Tennessee Volunteer team.
27 all, little Don't Stop Believing.
Now, are you a big Journey guy?
I mean, not really into the band, but Don't Stop Believing. I just never really got into them, but Don't Stop Believing is a Mississippi State classic.
That period of time was so good with like bands and music and stuff. It's really hard to pick a favorite. It's really hard to say, hey, this is who I really, really like. Journey's one of those guys. They have a lot of pretty good hits, and this is one of them right here. I feel like it's a staple for Mississippi State at this point in the season.
Well, they're showing Will Rogers on the Jumbotron here. He's made the trek back to Starkville, started his career here at Mississippi State, played under the late, great Mike Leach, transferred to Washington to end his career, but definitely a Bulldog great all-time passing leader at Mississippi State University. Man, you get a crowd shot on the video board. This place is full. I mean, it's been an electric atmosphere, and we talked about it at halftime. Tennessee's brought their people, too. And Tennessee has made it an electric atmosphere as well, those Tennessee fans in orange. But, man, this state fan base has rallied around this ball club, and it's fun to see that. And we'll see how State can, embrace this football team can embrace the crowd here and take it to their advantage with 10:31 to play in the contest.
There's nothing like fan bases who have nothing to lose. You came into this season not expecting much with the 2-10 season this last year, but really you have been super, super energetic, and you've been really helping Mississippi State if you're the fan base this year. I have to give some credit to the fans, because if you can show up, you can show out, and that's what Levy's been doing this season so far.
Kyle Ferry going to kick off again for Mississippi State. 10:31 to play. The Bulldogs just tied the game up. Kyle Ferry kick was good from 38 yards out. It's 27 all here in the fourth quarter. Ferry runs up, boots this one back, and into the end zone for a touchback.
If you're the defense here, you got to play like you've been playing in the red zone all game. Now, granted, you have 14 points that you have not given up if you're the defense. So you can say, hey, you've given up less points than the offense has technically for this game. If you're the defense and you can say, hey, we held this Tennessee high-powered offense to just 13 points, I think you can say that you can keep holding them and hopefully make a stop right here.
1st and 10 for Tennessee. They start at their own 25-yard line. Shotgun set for Aguilar. They put Staley in motion to the far side. And it's a play fake. Aguilar over the middle, way over the head of Chris Brazel, and way behind Chris Brazel for an incomplete pass. Aguilar has been off target with some throws this afternoon and into this evening.
And we talked about this, right? 18 of his 27 career interceptions have been on the road. He's starting to feel something he's never felt before coming into this matchup.
Has thrown an interception in this game that State took back and was able to score on the drive after that. 2nd and 10, Aguilar in the shotgun. Bishop will take the ball up to the 30-yard line and down to the 31. It'll be 3rd down and 4 for Tennessee at the Volunteer 31.
If you're Mississippi State here, you got to think Tennessee might just do a quick little short pass to get that 1st down. So you got to really kind of play up. Don't play too far back or they're going to get you.
3rd down and 4. 2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side. Aguilar in a shotgun. Bishop the back. Aguilar will throw. Looking over the middle, fires, ball tipped up in the air. Intercepted by Mississippi State. Zachary Tillman with the interception. Back to the 30, 25-20, down at the 17-yard line. Another play from this Bulldog defense. And Mississippi State has a golden opportunity with 9:43 to
defense to do so. Josh Heupel is 22-5 before this game when winning the turnover battle. That defense was excellent. The play calling was excellent. Coleman Hutzler was ready. You know they've been watching film. And what did I tell you before we got into this game? That Georgia game is going to tell a lot, and it's been showing a lot. They have been ready. They've been ready defensively. 13 points that defense has held up for this Tennessee offense. That is an extreme win for Mississippi State.
We talked about winning the turnover battle as well in the pregame. State now with 3 turnovers to Tennessee's 2. Been very important, and this turnover puts Mississippi State in the red zone. 1st and 10 with the ball to 17. Booth in the backfield, 2 receivers to each side. Shapen takes a snap. They hand it off to Booth, trying to run. Gets outside to the 20, now up to the 15-yard line. A gain of 2 on the play.
Just keep running it, baby. That's all I want to see. I want you to keep running it, because now you can tire out this Tennessee defense just enough to where they're not going to be ready to come back and play. Just roll the clock, keep running it, and hopefully get up on this.
Yeah, you're exactly right with running the ball. With already good field position, you don't really have to stress hurrying up to the football here. State in the shotgun again. Booth to the left of Shapen, and they'll hand off. Booth to the 10. Booth down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line, between the 9 and the 8. It's going to be 3rd down and about a yard, really, honestly, a half a yard for Mississippi State. And State gets up to the line quick this time. They'll hand off. Booth, 1st down to the 6-yard line. I think he might have gotten the 5. Now you take your time here if you're Mississippi State. Looks like they're going to sub out Devon Booth and bring in Fluff Bothwell, who has 20 carries for 132 yards and 2 touchdowns in the game. And State, I think, is going to have 2 tight ends in the ball game as well.
Fluff is a dangerous man. You're bringing out this 2 tight end set. You know that there could be a run to the right side. But if you're Tennessee and you're expecting that, you're going to send a lot of people to Mississippi State's right. So maybe you run a weak side here and maybe score.
State will break the huddle. Hand off Fluff Bothwell. Carries it to the 3. Falls down to the 2-yard line. A gain of 3 on 1st down. Maybe a gain of 4, actually. I think they spotted it. Either a gain of 3 or 4. But it'll be 2nd down and goal at the 2. Snap to Bothwell. No, they'll throw. Shapen to Traore. Can't quite get the... Did he stay in? He did. Oh, my goodness. He tight-roped the sideline, and Traore put the ball inside of the pylon. Touchdown, Mississippi State.
I don't know if he learned that from England or something, but that didn't look like a normal football player's play right there. He was able to tightrope down the sideline, just leap like a freaking frog, and score for Mississippi State. You are up on this Tennessee team. Keep it going, Mississippi State.
We'll see if they review this. Definitely an interesting play. My gosh, he tightrope the sideline, Connor. I mean, that reminds me of Heath Evans back in the day for the New Orleans Saints doing that. They're waiting on, the replay booth. They're waiting on the replay booth to see if he did stay in. I think they're reviewing this in Birmingham. A maroon and white chant going across the crowd right now, I think, or that might just be boos. Yeah, it's boos. I think it's a mix of both.
Okay.
I don't know what they're going to do. Let's see.
Well, go ahead and kick it, and if you kick it and the extra point's good, you can't call it back.
They're going to let it run. He scored. Touchdown, Mississippi State. So the PAT pending now. What an incredible play by Seydou Traore. And we'll get the snap, hold, and kick, and hopefully it'll be good from Kyle Ferry. Pass back is good. Hold is good. Kick up and good. Mississippi State 34, Tennessee 27 with 7:59 to play in the ball game. State executes off the interception from Zachary Tillman, a 5-play, 17-yard drive that went 1:44, and Seydou Traore tight-roped the sideline and scored for Mississippi State.
I just want to say, Ty, that as much kind of trauma we went through last year in the football world, we are blessed as Mississippi State students to be able to witness greatness like this. You have Jeff Lebby coming in his 2nd year, and he's been able to get things done. I said it earlier, it's been magical this game. You came in as a 7.5-point underdog, and now you're up 7 points against the number 15th ranked team in the country. You got to hold them defensively. Keep it going, and I think you can do just that.
Let's show the play of the game. on the video board. What's funny about it is it was a fourth down fake punt conversion.
And then the next
play after that was a scoop and score. So an interesting choice of the play of the game here on the video board. But Mississippi State leads 34-27 with 7:59 to play in the ball game. The defense has forced 2 Joey Aguilar interceptions. We talked about that coming into the contest. Aguilar with 18 interceptions on the road in his career. That's now at 20. He has struggled on the road, and we're sort of seeing that right now. And the Tennessee offense, only 13 points scored. The rest of the points scored by Tennessee have been from a scoop and score touchdown and a pick six.
If we're staying offensively, I want to make 1 point known. We have not led in the yardage margin this entire game, and now State has 355 yards compared to Tennessee's 331 yards. You're doing great rushing the ball. You just got a passing touchdown, so you can say you've done a little bit better passing, but you have to continue to win in every facet of this ball game.
We'll see what Mississippi State's defense can do. About a minute left in the TV timeout. But, I mean, you look at it, too, and we talked about how good State's defense played in the first half. We talked about that the entire broadcast, really, because it's really been amazing. But only 3 of Tennessee's 10 second-half points were from the offense. You talk about standing up when they've had to. Mississippi State's defense has done that. Mississippi State's offense has responded with 17 second-half points, matching their total in the first half. It's been an all-around pretty good performance from Mississippi State. Guess what, though? It's not over yet. You got 7:59 left in this ball game. Tennessee, a good football team, coached the right way. They're going to bring the fight. You got to bring the fight right back. But this is one heck of a ball game to start conference play for Mississippi State. And I tell you what, regardless of the score, I don't want to take moral victories. But you look at this Mississippi State team, this is a different Mississippi State team, and they're right back to where they were.
I was going to say the same thing, Ty.
Kyle Ferry, kickoff again. He's been great today. Every kickoff he's had has been a touchback, and this one doesn't change. As it goes through the back of the end zone, doesn't even touch the paint. And Tennessee will start their drive at the 25-yard line.
You can't get too aggressive here on defense, Ty. If you're Tennessee, you're going to try to take some shots down the field. You're going to try to get down the field and score, but also not leaving enough time for State to come back and do the same. You have to play a little bit more conservative, keep this lead going, and the energy and the momentum.
First and 10 for Tennessee. They'll start on the right hash, far side 25. Start Thomas is the back for the Volunteers. Shotgun set. Aguilar will play fake and a throw to a wide open Chris Brazel on a comeback route for a gain of 11.
A little bit too conservative for my liking, but okay.
State playing back on that. It was Jet Jefferson in coverage, and then Brazel was just wide open. I think that's his first catch this half. So State has been able to hold him in check after he had a really good first half. So first down quickly for Tennessee. Ball on the Volunteer 36 after the gain of 11. Shotgun set with Thomas in the backfield and Kitselman, the tight end, as the fullback. They'll hand it off to Thomas. He plunges forward to the Tennessee 44-yard line, a gain of 8. Tennessee moving the ball the best they've have really all the second half so far. But now they have an injury, and that looks like it's their right tackle, Jesse Perry.
Now, the more you play this game and the more you get desperate, the more aggressive you're going to try to play, whether you're a lineman, whether you're a running back, whether you're a quarterback. When you want to run through a brick wall for your head coach to try to not lose against this Mississippi State team, there's going to be injuries. And we've seen that on both sides of the football team, and it's going to happen. It's football, but I hope and pray that we can just not have injuries for the rest of the game so that we can keep this game going.
So Jesse Perry is the injured Volunteer. He's been at right tackle for Tennessee. But 2 plays, 19 yards so far on this drive for the Vols, and they're going to have a 2nd and 2 whenever Perry is able to make it back to the sideline.
They're going to try and continue to run clock off of this They don't want to get into the same situation they were against Georgia. They're going to try to run the clock off. If you go into overtime, then it might be a similar situation and probably the exact same situation, but you don't want to get it there. You want to stop them. They're going to try to get the clock down so you can't go back down the field and score after they do, but you just got to stop them so that doesn't happen.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying Tennessee hasn't given it their best the entire ball game, but you're going to get Tennessee, for sure, Tennessee's best right here on this drive. I mean, this is intense pressure on them. 7:15 to play, down a score on the road. This is intense pressure. I mean, early in the season, you don't want to fall to 3-2 and 0-2, especially in the SEC. I mean, that's big just in their playoff aspirations. This is a team that made the playoffs last year, got bounced by eventual national champion Ohio State and Columbus, but made the playoffs last year, and this team has been really good under Josh Heupel, falling to 3-2 early in the season, 0-2 in the conference. Maybe something Tennessee fans wouldn't have expected, but I mean, it's something that, you know, a record is a record, but it's very important, and I think Tennessee fans and the Tennessee players right now understand that. You're going to get a lot of urgency from this offense right now. So Perry makes his way to the sideline. It'll be 2nd down and 2 for Tennessee. Ball on their own 44. Cowbells rocking here at Davis Wade Stadium at Scott Field. Tennessee driving towards the north end zone. 2nd down and 2. Thomas is the back. They'll hand off. 1st down Tennessee. Not as much of a gain as he had on 1st down, but he gains 3 and does the job. Moves the chains to the 47-yard line of the Volunteers.
Like I told you, Ty, they're going to continue to run this ball, and they might do it again right here.
They'll actually pass out of the shotgun. It's a middle screen, and brought down by Brandon Jennings is Mike Matthews. They tried to run a middle screen, only gained a yard there. Good tackle, really a shoestring tackle by Brandon Jennings.
That was teach tape right there. I mean, he wrapped up perfectly around the leg. He didn't let him go. Actually, he tripped him up, excuse me. Still a really good play.
Did a good job. So 2nd and 9 for Tennessee. Hand off to Star Thomas. State all over it. Zachary Tillman in the backfield. A loss of 1 for the Volunteers. Tillman making his presence known in this 4th quarter. Had that interception on the last drive with a TFL now here. And it's 3rd down and 10 for Mississippi State. Now under 6 minutes to play in the ball game.
He's been great today, Ty. 5 total tackles, a sack, 2 TFLs, and a pick. He's been fantastic for this Mississippi State defense.
Really, really good at that linebacker spot. Thomas in the backfield for Tennessee. Aguilar in the shotgun, 2 receivers to each side. State going to bring 4. Aguilar to throw. It's a halfback screen. Thomas is going to be brought down shy of the 1st down to the Mississippi State 47-yard line. It's a gain of 6. It'll be 4th and 4, and at this point in the ball game, I think you would see Tennessee go for it. And they're leaving the offense on the field. It's getting late, under 5.5 now, under 5:20 to play and running. Tennessee with that offense on the field. Here's the biggest play of the ball game right now.
And it's getting loud.
4th down and 4 for Tennessee at the Bulldog 47-yard line. Coming up on 5 minutes to play in the game. Aguilar in the shotgun, 2 receivers each side. Thomas is his back to the left. State rushes 4. Here's the throw from Aguilar. Over the middle, it is caught off the juggle by Chris Brazel. He makes an acrobatic catch and moves the chains. Clutch for Tennessee, their best wide receiver. Makes sense that they would throw to it.
State was right there, just about to pressure Joey Aguilar, but he got the pass off in time.
Ball at the State 36. 1st down Tennessee. Handoff Star Thomas. Dinkins wraps him up in the backfield, and then Brandon Jennings again finishes it off. A gain of a yard for Star Thomas, now under 4.5 to play in the ball game. 2nd and 9 for the Vols at the State 35.
One thing we've noticed this game that we have not seen before recently is we have been winning at the first level so much this game, and it has been making us have a 34-27 lead. It's been beautiful.
State subs out Tillman. They bring in Tyler Lockhart. Tennessee taking a lot of time off the clock. 15 on the play clock. Coming up on 4 minutes to play in the game. Aguilar in the shotgun. I believe that's Deshaun Bishop to his right now. Play fake. Aguilar looking. throws downfield, caught. First down, Tennessee to Mike Matthews inside the 20-yard line, and he talks a little bit to the state sideline.
You're praying too far back if you're Mississippi State. I believe that was
That's number 15 right there, Javen Williams in coverage. And so now 1st and 10 for Tennessee at the 18-yard line. Handoff to Deshaun Bishop. He takes it to the 15, down inside the 15 to the 12-yard line. You're coming up on a moment in the game. You got to have a stop right here. State made a stop and forced a field goal in that Arizona State game. Tennessee's not going to be willing to take the field goal with State up 7. Let's see if State can come through one last time defensively. Clock running now under 3:10 to play. Tennessee still looking to the sideline. And now Aguilar communicating with his offensive lineman. Bishop the back to the left. Kitzelman also in the backfield. 2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the right. Aguilar takes the snap. Bishop down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. I think he is going to be a yard or a half a yard shy of the first down. It's going to be 3rd down and about a yard for Mississippi State. Or excuse me, for Tennessee. Tennessee gets to the line quickly. Let's see if they snap it quickly. False start on Tennessee. Wow. They false started earlier in the game on 3rd and 1, and it ended up being a punt for Tennessee. They false start now, and it makes it 3rd down and 6. Another critical mistake for the Volunteers on 3rd down, who have struggled already, 3 for 12 in the game.
We talked about playing a complete game when you get in the conference play, and Mississippi State has just played more of a complete game than Tennessee has. Tennessee has way more self-inflicted wounds, especially in the second half, than Mississippi State does. We had a couple early penalties that cost us a little bit, but when it matters most, Mississippi State has been able to get those self-inflicted wounds out the way.
Clock now running under 2.5 minutes to play. Tennessee will have to take the snap. Play clock is at 10. You're going to probably see a throw here. Play clock running down now at 6. Tennessee in the shotgun. 4 on the play clock, 2 on the play clock, 1. They get the snap off. Aguilar looking, forced out to his right, throws. It is caught. First down, Tennessee, as he takes it inside the 9-yard line to the 6. It'll be 1st and goal, and we're at the 2-minute timeout. Wow, what a throw there from Aguilar with pressure on his backside.
Super close right there, Ty. I believe there was a little bit of man right there. He just got a little lost. He was able to sit down and catch that ball for the first down. He kind of drug one of our defenders for the first down. You hate to see it, but hopefully, look, you have not scored a touchdown yet. You still have 6 yards to go before you get into that end zone. This game is not over. This battle has not been won if you're Tennessee. Mississippi State has to keep this lead and show them that they are one of the best red zone defenses that we've seen probably in the conference, honestly.
It'll be, when we get back from the TV timeout, 1st down and goal at the 6. State leads 34-27 with exactly 2 minutes to play in the game. I mean, this has been a barn burner. Mississippi State has played really well. It's played really well. And you want to think about this too. Tennessee running this clock down like this, trying to be a little conservative. Maybe they try and go for 2 if they score a touchdown, depending on where the clock is at. Now, I know State might be disciplined with their timeouts and take some timeouts if Tennessee runs the clock down too much. But, Tennessee is you got 4 downs to score, and you have plenty of time to do it. Tennessee still has all 3 timeouts. If they have to take one, I don't think going for 2 is out of the cards if you're Tennessee. If they score a touchdown, that is, they still have to get in the end zone.
If you're Mississippi State defense, you don't want it to get to that point, though, Ty. You do not want them to score here, obviously, because you're up 34-27. But you're right, they could possibly go for 2. You have been underestimated before this week. This entire game, people are not going to expect you to be up right now. And if you go for 2, you're just going to keep slapping Mississippi State in the face. But the great thing is, if you go for 2 and you don't get it, it's ball game Mississippi State.
Just a whole bunch of, this game has just been everything you could have asked for. I'm sure you probably would have rather had a blowout if you're Mississippi State, because I can't take the the heart attack I'm probably going to have here pretty soon. But I tell you what, it wouldn't be Mississippi State if it wasn't a heart attack game. But, you know, it's been a really good contest just in terms of two SEC teams battling it out. It's been a really fun ball game. These are two good teams. I mean, these are two good teams. State, I think, has solidified that they're a quality football team in the SEC this season. The home field advantage has definitely helped. But Tennessee has 4 downs, Connor, to gain 6 yards and score a touchdown.
You're right about that. The anticipation is almost killing me. Now, I do eat a little bit healthier than I used to, so my blood pressure isn't as bad, but now this game is making my blood pressure raise to a level I haven't seen raised in a long time.
So we'll break from the 2-minute timeout. Tennessee comes out with the ball on the right hash, far side at the 6.
They're right in that student section, too.
Right in the face of the student section. 2 tight ends in the backfield for Tennessee to the right side of the running back. Looks like Deshaun Bishop. Aguilar takes the snap. It's a quarterback power to the far side. Aguilar into the end zone, touchdown Tennessee.
I could have called that quarterback power, but I wanted you to do your play-by-play duties. I didn't want to cut in, but I could see that quarterback power coming in from a mile away, but Mississippi State couldn't. You stack the box, and that's just what happened.
Tennessee has been stopped really this entire second half.
They're going to take their chances with the extra point tie.
Well, there's just too much time left to try and go for 2. Even if you do have 3 timeouts, I don't think you want to put your defense in that kind of position. But Tennessee hadn't been able to get a good drive all the second half. They finally find one when they needed it most. And I think they're still looking at this in Birmingham just to make sure Aguilar crossed the plane.
I think the crowd meter's getting to the cameraman because he's real shaky on the kicker right here. Maybe his blood pressure's raising too.
We're still awaiting if it is a confirmed touchdown. If it is, it's a 13-play, 75-yard drive that took 6 minutes and 4 seconds. But we're still waiting on if it is a confirmed touchdown, and they confirm it. So Max Gilbert to kick the PAT. This straight crowd loud. Definitely ignoring the ring responsibly comment. Not doing that. They're ringing through this. Kick is up. It is good, though. Noise does not affect Max Gilbert. He ties the ball game with 1:55 to play. State will get the ball back with 3 timeouts to work with. Tennessee also has 3 timeouts.
If we look at some of these drives, Ty, they have made a touchdown with 1:38 time of possession. They've made a touchdown with 5 minutes. They've made a field goal with 3, a touchdown with 1, a field goal with 3, and a touchdown with 1:44 seconds. You can score quick because you've been doing it all game. You know if you're Jeff Levy, you can get down the field quick on this Tennessee defense. Especially with 3 timeouts. Especially with 3 timeouts. Now we're going to see, this is an ultimate test of Blake Shapen in this offensive line because you're going to have to pick up the pass game a little bit more here. You can't just run the ball down the field. So with a fast-paced offense already, State is tailored for these kind of situations. You just might have to see a little bit more of the pass game. You need to see some really good pass pro from the offensive line and some really good ball protection from Blake Shapen and all the playmakers offensively. Kick by Turbyville is going to go out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. State will start the drive at their own 25 with 1:55 to play in the ball game. Tie game, 34-all here, and a barn burner in Starkville. Whew. The crowd noise is getting higher. My blood pressure is getting higher. I don't know what else could be at the highest point it is. You have 34-34 on your score right now. You can go down here and win it like you did against Arizona State at home if you're Blake Shapen. I want that mentality. Like I said, don't think about what's already happened, but think about what's to come.
State will start out what looks to be an empty set. 3 receivers to the far side. Traore on the line to the right, and then a lone receiver to the near side. Shapen in trouble, throws, that ball tipped up in the air. It is caught by Fluff Bothwell, and he gains 2 yards. Man, that ball fluttered, and it could have been very, very dangerous.
It was a little scary with it how much air time as it got, but luckily it got the Fluff before a defender got to hit Fluff.
Yep.
And We're out of bounds.
Guys have got to get open though. Don't put as much stress on that offensive line for State. Shotgun set 2-by-2. State will throw. Chapin looking. Fires incomplete to the far sideline for Mosley. 3rd and 8 for the Bulldogs.
You can't go 3 and out here. You just can't give the ball back to Tennessee, especially with the offensive drive they just had. You cannot give the ball back to them.
Here comes this Tennessee crowd. 3rd down and 8 for Mississippi State. They've only taken 15 seconds off the game clock. Both teams with all 3 timeouts. Shotgun set. Tennessee looks to be bringing 4. Now they show blitz. State checks to the sideline. 13 on the play clock. Let's see if Tennessee still brings the blitz from the near side. Looks like they bring 4. State throws. Chapin incomplete. State goes 3 and out. They're going to have to punt the ball away and put the game in the hands of their defense.
The pocket was clean enough to make a play right there. The route running wasn't the best on those 2 crossers. You kind of got jumbled up in the middle, and Blake Chapin didn't know who to throw to.
I mean, just nothing open right there for Chapin at all. I mean, it was a pretty clean pocket. There's nothing open. And here's a big punt from Ethan Pulliam. Snap back to him is good. It's a pretty daggum good punt. But it will be returned by Boo Carter. He gets out to the near side, and a bunch of State players around him now, makes some guys miss, and is tackled at the 26-yard line of Tennessee. And the Vols will start their drive there with 1:23 to play and 3 timeouts.
You have just now put the hands into your defense, which is exactly what you didn't want to do. All your cards were ready to be placed down for you to hit a royal flush with your hands, but you ended up folding before you thought you could place that royal flush down to win the game. Now this defense is going to trot out here and try to see what they can do against Tennessee.
Tennessee coming off a 13-play scoring drive. They have 3 timeouts, and they'll start at their own 26. Shotgun set for Aguilar. Tennessee will run on 1st down, and State is pretty much all over that. A good job of tackling. Deshaun Bishop, the ball carrier, gains 2 on the play. Second down and 8.
There's not going to be a timeout called. I'm wondering if Tennessee wants to take this game into extra quarters.
Well, I'm sure they will. I'd see no reason for them to go into overtime, but I don't. It makes sense for them to run clock right now, but they are running it down a lot. I mean, the clock under a minute now, 53 seconds and counting. Tennessee still with 3 timeouts, so shotgun set for Aguilar. 45 seconds on the game clock. He will drop back to pass, looking over the middle, caught by Kitzelman. 1st down, Tennessee, timeout, Tennessee, to the Volunteer 42-yard line.
We had a zone right to the right.
They actually, excuse me, I got to interrupt you. They don't call timeout. Tennessee will hurry up on it. Aguilar looking, still looking. All day to throw. He'll run and is tackled inbounds at the 50-yard line, and a timeout now called by Tennessee with 22. The clock's still running on the scoreboard. I think they're going to check the clock. Josh Heupel wants them to. Probably will be around 23 seconds left in the ball game, but man, this thing is coming down to the wire.
What I was going to say earlier is you had, what's his name, Tinselman?
Kitzelman.
Yes, you had him sit right between those 2 zones that our linebackers were creating.
I thought we were going to throw it there too. I thought he was going to throw it there too.
But our linebackers didn't see that. They didn't look at the quarterback's eyes and see that he's going to throw it right to that wide receiver that sat right between those 2 zones. I don't know how you have 2 guys there and you still, neither one of them covered the receiver.
Ball is at the State 49-yard line. You talk about Max Gilbert. He had a chance to win the game against Georgia and missed. He could have a chance to win the game here in Starkville. We'll see how these next couple of plays play out. It's 2nd and 1 from the State 49-yard line. Tennessee with 2 timeouts. Shotgun set. 3 receivers to the right. Aguilar will throw. Looking, still looking deep downfield. That ball is going to be knocked down by Jerron Manning. What a play by Jerron.
what you want to see. At first, I got a little scared. I said, well, did he get beat right there? Joey Aguilar seemed to thought he got beat, but Deron Manning said, no, the game is going to be put in my hands with this very play, and we're going to break up this pass and draw up a third down.
Let's see what this state defense can do. A 3rd down and 1. Tennessee only a yard needed to move the chains. Maybe they think about running the ball and then calling a timeout. Who knows what Tennessee will decide to do. It's also a big play, obviously, just for the game, but we'll see what State tries to draw up pressure-wise. 3rd down and 1, 18 seconds to play. Ball at the State 49. Aguilar in the shotgun. Tennessee will run. It's a 1st down to the 44 of Mississippi State.
You have 2 timeouts left for Tennessee.
2 timeouts left. They're going to get on the ball and not call timeout. Aguilar to throw. Looking, still looking. Got a man over the middle. He doesn't see him. State is able to force him out of the pocket, and he throws the ball away. There's 4 seconds left in this game. I don't think Tennessee's going to try to kick a 61-yard field goal here. I think you're probably going to see a Hail Mary.
And if you do and Tennessee gets this, we're not seeing Juwan Jennings and Josh Dobbs throwing that pass. I know it's not against Georgia, but hey, it's against a Mississippi State team with a really close game on the line.
So 4 seconds left. This is probably the ball game. I don't think Tennessee can get down in time to be able to kick a field goal. So I think they're probably just going to heave this thing or work a couple of laterals, but first State calls a timeout. So it's either overtime or ball game here with a score at the end of it.
Even if you were to run this ball, could you get far enough with 4 seconds left and call a timeout quick enough to where you can put the game into Gilbert's hands?
I don't think so. I mean, you're at the 44 right now. I feel like, if anything, I don't know what his – I can honestly say I don't know what his field goal range is. I think he has a long this year of 53 against East Tennessee State. So to get to a 53-yard field goal, you'd have to get to the 36-yard line to get to his career long. So you'd have to gain 8 yards and then get down and then call timeout. I just don't know. I think Tennessee's just going to try and air this thing out, either Hail Mary style or lateral style. But
and if you're Tennessee, you got dang good receivers to be able to make a play like this.
Their offense is out on the field. State has got 3 safeties in the end zone at the goal line. They've got 4 second-level defenders scattered in between the 15 and the 20, and then 4 close to the line of scrimmage. Here's the snap. Tennessee going to throw a Hail Mary. Aguilar getting out of the pocket. It's going to be a hold, so this is going to come back regardless. This ball is going to be knocked down by Mississippi State. We're going to go to overtime. It's going to be a hold on Tennessee, and that'll take us to overtime. So the play wouldn't have counted either way. The play wouldn't have counted if Tennessee would have called it for a touchdown. But it doesn't matter now. The flag doesn't matter. We're going to go to overtime here in Starkville for the first time in quite some time, I believe, since 2023 against Auburn was the last time. Or excuse me, I'd have to think. It's been a while.
Okay,
2022 against Auburn was the last time the Bulldogs went to overtime, I believe, here at Davis-Wade Stadium. So we get free football here in Starkville. Man,
we do.
A phenomenal 60 minutes of football, and that still wasn't enough to determine a winner. So we're going to get some extra time.
And for the first time in this broadcast, we can change the fourth quarter graphic to overtime now.
Well, overtime is set to occur here at Davis-Wade. So we'll go over the rules of it. Both teams will get a possession. They'll both start from the 25-yard line. For the first overtime, both teams can, if they score a touchdown, both teams can just settle for the PAT. Could see somebody go for 2 maybe if they want to be aggressive, but both teams can settle for the PAT. If we get to a second overtime, then both teams will again start from the 25, but if they score a touchdown, they have to go for 2. And then if we get to the third overtime and beyond, it is 2-point conversions consecutively until we get a winner here at Davis-Wade Stadium. But about 1:50 left on the TV timeout, so we won't get to see overtime for a little bit. And the coin toss is always so huge in overtime, determining who gets the ball first. I think you'd rather be on defense first. If you had the...
If you're Jeff Levy, you might be on offense first.
Well, I think here is where your strategy changes, because I feel like you always want to be on defense first, so you know what you have to go get. And I think the strategy is gonna change here for Jeff Levy. He's usually a guy that wants the football first. We'll see if that changes, but State has to win the coin toss, obviously, to be able to decide what they want to do first.
And if you're on defense and Tennessee scores on you, then you have that extra pressure going into the offense. So you have a little bit of a dilemma either way, regardless of what you decide. You just have to make sure what you decide is going to be the right call.
Go back to that. I mean, the 2 defensive touchdowns in this game for Tennessee, absolutely the difference. And I mean, those are just 2 plays by themselves that make up such a big part of this game. That's 2 scores. It could be, without those 2, it'd be 34-20. State would have a win right now. I mean, and even then, State could have maybe even scored on those 2 drives. So you look at that, I mean, it is so, those 2 scores are so huge in a game like this.
And if you asked me, I wouldn't be telling you it would be the offense that was kind of a little underperforming today. But regardless, you have been able to take let's not be mistaken. You've been able to take the number 15th ranked team to overtime. So there you go. You just have to seal the deal and win it in Davis-Wade Stadium for the first time since 2012.
Tennessee has already been in overtime once this season. That was against Georgia at home in Knoxville at Neyland Stadium, and they fell 44-41. They kicked a field goal on their first drive. They got the ball first, and then Georgia was able to score a touchdown on the ground. So I'm going to try and keep as quiet as I can so I can hear the coin toss here.
Wins the toss, we'll have the choice of offense, defense, or which end of the field you want to play on. Tennessee, you're the visiting team. You'll make the call. I'll let the coin hit the ground. That's heads, that's tails, heads, and tails.
So Tennessee will make the call on the coin toss.
Heads. It's tails.
State wins the toss. State will play defense first. That's exactly what you want. So State wins the coin toss in overtime, and they will be on the defensive side of things first. Tennessee is going to start at the 25. I didn't quite catch what end zone Tennessee is heading to, but we'll see that in just a moment.
You have to make sure this is the right call if you're Mississippi State. You have really the ball in your court if you're Mississippi State, regardless if you're on offense and defense. You decide what happens in this ball game right here, right now.
So Tennessee will start, again, like we mentioned before overtime has started, Tennessee going to start, both teams will start at the 25. They choose to start on the left hash. Tennessee is heading towards the south end zone here at Scott Field, with the student section at their back. Student section really not much of an issue now when you're so far down the field. So we'll see if Tennessee can get a score and force Mississippi State to either kick a field goal or score a touchdown. We'll see if State can make one last stop.
You have to limit those explosive plays.
Heavy set for Tennessee in the backfield. Deshaun Bishop in the backfield, who'd get the carry on first down, breaks a tackle. He's going to go to the end zone on the first play of overtime. Touchdown, Tennessee.
You were showing pressure on that right side of the Tennessee line. You couldn't get there fast enough. They had a really good protection. Even in the backfield right there, you missed a tackle. I believe that was Nick Mitchell, and you were able to go in and score unscathed.
40-34 Tennessee. You're right. Deshaun Bishop broke some tackles during that run that were key. State couldn't quite get him on the ground. Tennessee elects to kick the PAT. All important PAT here. Snapback is good. The hold is good and the kick is good. Tennessee leads 41-34 They score on the first play of overtime with a rushing touchdown by Deshaun Bishop.
The conversation we have had throughout this game is so many times you have put the ball and the game into your defensive hands. But now the tides have turned and you are putting this game completely into your offensive hands. But we must not forget Jeff Levy as an offensive mastermind. He needs to pull from his bag of tricks. Maybe he's been saving something just for this case in overtime, and hopefully he shows it to us on the field so Mississippi State can tie the game and keep going into extra overtime.
State will also drive towards the south end zone. They'll start on their right hash. That's the near side hash to us. Fluff Bothwell in the backfield. State in the shotgun. 1st and 10 at the 25. Evans in motion over to the far side. State will hand off. Bothwell is bottled up. Loses a yard on 1st down. It'll be 2nd and 11.
They were all over that. I believe those plays, Chapin has an option to try to either run the ball or he can throw it out to that motion out there, and they decided to run the ball right there, and he lost a yard.
Pistol set. Bothwell in the backfield, 2 receivers to each side. Might think State will pass here, but a fairly light box for Tennessee. State will make a change at the line of scrimmage. Bothwell is the back. He motions to the left side now of Chapin, and now Traore in motion inside the formation. State will throw. Mosley with the grab. No, it goes over Mosley's head and into the hands of Anthony Evans, who hurdles down inside the 10-yard line. Holy cow, that ball was intended for Jordan Mosley. It went over his head and somehow found the hands of Anthony Evans.
Now, that was risky because Traore in motion was completely wide open in the middle of that play. And you decided to go a little risky there, and it panned out.
1st and goal at the 5. Bothwell, the back. Mosley in motion over here to the near side. Play fake. Chapin going to keep it. Puts his shoulder down and gains maybe a yard on the play. Was looking for Traore like he did in the 4th quarter to score on a flat. And they locked that down pretty well, so it'll be 2nd down and goal from the 4-yard line for Mississippi State.
If you're Tennessee's defense, you can expect them to stack the box at just about every single play this drive, but you have to know how to get around that, and I believe those outside kind of passes and runs is exactly how you do it.
2nd and goal for State at the 4. Bothwell to the right of Chapin. They'll hand it off to him, and he can't get through the cloud of orange jerseys. He only maybe gained a half a yard. 3rd and goal for Mississippi State.
This is a big play right here. Now, it's not the end of the game if you don't get this, but it is a big play, and you can save yourself a lot of stress, a lot of people's heartburns going up during this broadcast if you score right here.
3rd and goal from the 4. Bothwell to the left of Blake Chapin. Big shift from State. Now Evans in the backfield to the left of Chapin, and Bothwell to the right of him. Play fake. Chapin rolling out to his right. He'll try and tuck it and run. He slips at the 4-yard line, and he might have been able to score if he didn't slip. It's going to be 4th and goal, and this is the final. This could be the final play of the ball game here. This is the decider.
All the effort that you have put into this game is all decided based on how this play pans out on 4th and goal. You have about 4 yards left until you score right here, and now we're getting energy.
Here's your ball game. 4th and goal from the 4. Chapin in the shotgun. Will throw. Looking. Still looking. Fires. Tipped up in the air. Incomplete. Tennessee wins. Tennessee comes into Knoxville, comes into Starkville, survives, and wins in overtime over Mississippi State. 41-34 is your final score.
And I know everybody's moods are changing from super, super happy to almost rushing the field. I see the student section piling up over there. They're about to try to get down here and see if State could win. But let's make no mistake, this was a fantastic ball game and an effort by Mississippi State. You did not come into this game as the team that you were in this game, and I believe that we could take some good things from this. We will go into postgame in just a little bit and talk more about this. I'm not upset with how Mississippi State performed. A win would have been nice, a 5-0 start to the season. But look, maybe, just maybe from your effort tonight, the selection committee or whoever, the AP poll, can decide, look, we thought Mississippi State was good enough. We can finally put them into that top 25 ranking that they might deserve. And I think they do deserve it after this week.
Tennessee with 14 points in the fourth quarter, 7 points in overtime. Tennessee, prior to that fourth quarter, had only scored 20 points in the ball game. They closed the game with 21 straight points.
That defense won him that ball game.
The defense locked up at the end of the ball game, and Tennessee finally found a way to have a successful drive. They had the 13-play drive to tie it up, and then they had the overtime score there on the first play of the game. So Tennessee victors over Mississippi State 41-34, a heartbreaker here in Starkville. Mississippi State, like you mentioned, Connor, definitely played a really good ball game. This is a team that is in way different of a position than they were not even a year ago. I mean, this team was 2-10 last year, and the Bulldogs now fall to 4-1 and 0-1 in the conference. But you played really well tonight. There were things that you could have cleaned up. We'll talk about that in the post-game show as we'll wrap up our game coverage here. Mississippi State falls in overtime 41-34 to number 15 Tennessee. We'll be back in just a moment for the Bulldog Student Sports Network post-game show. Final score, Tennessee 41, Mississippi State 34. You're listening to Mississippi State football on the Bulldog Student Sports Network. Welcome back to the Bulldog Student Sports Network. Thank you for listening to the ball game. And we welcome you into the Bulldog Student Sports Network post-game show. Mississippi State falls to number 15 Tennessee, 41-34. Fans filing out of the stadium here in Starkville. A bunch of orange still left, of course, but just a great ball game in general. You hate that Mississippi State is on the losing side of it. We've had two close games against two top 15 at the time teams. Tennessee will still be in the top 15 next week. Arizona State might be ranked after winning over TCU this last night. So two quality teams. You've played two really close games, and you're 1-1 in those ball games that have been decided by a score. So I've thought about this. I've texted, while we've had a little bit of a break, and I've texted people about this. This is, and we talked about it in the game. I think you can realize now that this is a different team that we had last year that went 2-10. I don't want to continue to, harp on that, but it's something important to look at, and looking at where this program was last year and where we are right now. You fall tonight and you go to 4-1 and 0-1 in the conference. Tennessee moves to 4-1 and 1-1 in the conference, but you fall, but you feel so good too about the way that you played tonight. I mean, you didn't play good enough to win the game, but you took a top SEC team to overtime, and they outlasted you. And I think that's maybe a difference of Tennessee is the more physical and more experienced team, it feels like. Just got more guys than we do right now. But I think for State to take them to overtime, the ball game to go back and forth, State to have a lead for most of the ball game, it just shows how far you've come. And I give credit, like I said, lost the game, but at this point, I will take a moral victory. I think you have a really good football team. I think it's a team that nobody wants to play. And I think next week when you go to Texas A&M, they didn't play too particularly well tonight against Auburn, winning 16-10. I think this is a team that you worry about when they come into your building and when you come into their building.
Now, I do want to point out, and I just want to make this known, that just because State is 0-1 in the SEC in the conference, this is not the same team that we're used to seeing from last year. This is a whole different team, a more experienced team, a team that we can say that came out and played one of the best SEC teams, a hard-fought loss, but it was right there. You were neck and neck with them. You made a couple of mistakes, and we can go over that in just a little bit. But just because you have not won a game in the SEC, this was your SEC season opener, this is not the same team. We're not putting a stamp of, hey, Mississippi State's still the bottom of the SEC. You have climbed your way up towards middle of the pack, I would say, of this conference, and I think that is a win in my books, especially if we compare it to last year.
Just so much growth with so much overhaul. I believe, over 60 total players, new players on this team. Compared to last year, I think there's only 18 guys left from the 2023 team that was before Jeff Lebby. So much overhaul in such a short amount of time, and even though you come out on the losing end of things tonight, I think everything that Jeff Lebby has done and everything this athletic department has done and this football team has done feels like it's paid off right now. I just feel like, I was texting with my dad. Keeping this staff together, and then you go out and get some other people too, but keeping Coleman Hutzler, keeping most of your guys together, going to get Phil Lodeholt, which was big for the offensive line. I just most of the decisions that Lebby has made, at least in personnel, both coaching and your football team, I can't do anything but applaud. I mean, he's done a really, really good job in building this team back into being a formidable opponent.
Fantastic improvement, and I just want to say one word and make it super clear and obvious.
It's trust, Ty. There's a lot of trust within this personnel of this state team,
Within
this
the locker room.
coaching, and within every facet and area of this state football team. I mean, the coaching's there, the players are there. Everybody's trusting in what Lebby's building, and when you go toe-to-toe with one of the top in the conference, you can confidently say that, hey, that trust is paying off. Last year, if we played Tennessee, and we did play Tennessee, it did not look this close. It was a little bit nastier, a little uglier, and we couldn't even say we competed with Tennessee. But today, the competition was there. State was there. They were toe-to-toe. There was a lot of missed opportunities here where you could have sealed the deal, and we'll get into that. I want to get into mistakes in just a little bit. But, Tom, I'm going to give it to you. If you want to go to mistakes, we can talk about pros and cons, but I just want to make sure that you understand that I'm not upset about what went on the football field today. I can keep it a little bit more optimistic because this was a hard-fought loss, like I said earlier, and you did nothing but improve.
So we'll look at the game itself. We have most of the stats on the screen for you right now, but we'll just kind of read through some. Tennessee outgained State 466 to 378. State never could really get the pass game going, only 180 to Tennessee's 335. That's something you expected to be successful in the ball game. Tennessee outrushed by Mississippi State 198 to 131. State kind of struggled to run the ball towards the end is what it felt like, especially on that overtime drive that they had. 24 first downs for Tennessee to 22. Tennessee was not very good on third downs, 5 for 14. That was big for Mississippi State in the ball game. It kind of carried their defense at times. We'll just skip over a couple more. Both Tennessee and State were 4 for 4 in the red zone. So they were able to convert, but it was a matter of Tennessee had to end up kicking more field goals than Mississippi State did, and that's what was also big for the Mississippi State defense is they were able to hold Tennessee's offense and force field goals. You look at turnovers. Mississippi State won the turnover battle today, which is something that we thought could be a difference. Tennessee 22-5 overall when they win the turnover battle. So we thought maybe if State can win the turnover battle, it probably doesn't work out too well for Tennessee. State wins the turnover battle today, though, but they are not able to win the ball game. Sacks were a big deal, but honestly, in the first half, it was only really a big thing. Tennessee had 4 first half sacks and only 1 sack for the rest of the ball game. So State's offense did a better job in pass protection. We just could never get open downfield. State only had 2 sacks in the ball game. Tennessee 11 tackles for loss. That was big for Tennessee. Kind of putting State in tough third down situations, especially when on punting drives. State never could have third and manageable situations. It was always 3rd and 8, 3rd and 7, stuff like that. That kind of harmed State's offense throughout the ball game. But just talk about. Let's go general talk. What were some things that stuck out to you in the ball game? It could be offense, defense, doesn't matter. Anything in the ball game that stuck out to you on both sides of things that really affected this ball game.
Now, if you look at the game at face value, you understand that you could get better offensively. That Tennessee defense drug you through the mud, and you offensively did not play what you wanted to play. Now, you rushed the ball great against Tennessee, but you didn't do that when you needed to. I mean, Lebby, when it was working, he would just go and call a pass, and he could have kept running it and kept the clock going and keep getting the yards, but he got a little bit too ambitious because he really wanted to make a statement and beat this Tennessee team, and I think that's what kind of a big issue was. Now, you talk about defense, you have to limit big chunk plays. You have to limit those explosive plays because that's how you get down the field. Now, there's a couple penalties that kind of cost us. There wasn't too much today. You only had 6 on the day, which was tied for Tennessee's penalty marker. But you have to limit those big explosive chunk plays, and defensively, you did a fantastic job, but that is just the one gripe that I have defensively is you had a lot of plays that were really downfield. That's how you got 335 passing yards if you're Tennessee, and you just have to limit those whenever you go to College Station next weekend.
Well, you look at kind of look at the drive chart for Mississippi State. You had 4 punts and 2 turnovers, and those were drives where State just couldn't get anything going. You look at the punt drives. Actually, it was 5 punts and 2 turnovers. Those punt drives were 3 plays, -6 yards, 3 plays, 7 yards, 3 plays, 9 yards, 7 plays, 27 yards, and 3 plays and 2 yards. So you couldn't get anything going on those drives. It was hard to flip the field on those drives. And, it's like I said, Tennessee kept us in a lot of 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9 situations that were really big in the ball game. And, we weren't able to be, you always want to get 4 yards every play, 4 yards in a cloud of dust, or 3 yards in a cloud of dust, whatever the saying is. But you always want to try and aim to get 4 yards per play. You can gain the first down in 3 plays. It was tough for State to do that at times in the ball game. And then you had the two turnovers. Well, you had the turnover on downs at the end of the game, but you had the 2 turnovers in regulation that were scores, an interception and a fumble. And those 2 plays stick out to me because they are 2 plays that changed the entire ball game. That's 2 plays that accounted for 14 points. Tennessee won by 7 tonight. You look back at it, you take those 14 points off the board. Now I don't want to be ifs, ands, and buts about it, or ifs, ands, and buts guy, but you take those 14 points off, it's 34-27 is what you're looking at. And Tennessee wouldn't even have had the opportunity to score in overtime, so maybe you're looking at a 34-20 type of ball game. Those 2 plays were so big in the ball game, Connor.
And we talked about that before we got into broadcast. We said, hey, these is the for defensive touchdowns, this is who leads the conference. And I think Levy relied way too much on his passing game instead of what worked. And I did harp on that just a little bit earlier. But I want to say, Joey Aguilar, when we coming into this game, we knew that he struggles on the road. And he didn't play too particularly well, but Tennessee threw it 40 times. I mean, and it worked. They did what worked, and that's what happened. Now, you throw 2 picks if you're Tennessee, and you say, okay, well, do we keep doubling down on our passing? And they did, and that's what happened. You take them to overtime, you score quick. There were many opportunities you could have held Tennessee and stopped it from going into overtime, but the defense played well. I don't want to harp on the defense too much because overall they played fantastic, and it really made my heart happy because it was a defense that I'm used to seeing growing up. It was a nostalgia feeling to see a defense perform the way they did tonight.
Yeah, only 27 points allowed from the defense tonight. The rest of the 14 obviously were from the 2 turnovers that ended up in scores for the Volunteers. But, defense played well tonight. Offensively, you talk about the pass game. State struggled. 18 of 29 was shaping today. 18 of 29, 180 yards, a touchdown, and an interception that turned into a pick 6, so a 62% completion percentage. He just couldn't – it felt like he really couldn't get in rhythm. That's really what it felt like to me. I'd like to hear what you think about that too. And I think a part of that was I think Tennessee did a lot better of a job than we thought they would at covering in the secondary. I didn't think there was a lot of open receivers for Mississippi State today. I mean, you lost Brennan Thompson after the first half, but even then in the first half it was tough for State to throw the football. How did you feel about Shapen as a whole? But, I mean, how did Tennessee's defense affect Shapen, not just in the secondary, too, because, their defensive line played well today, too?
You know that you're going into a competition versus another SEC coach, and you are an SEC coach, when you can prepare for something and the other coach do the opposite and you do the same, if that makes sense. State prepared for the run. We knew that they were going to have a run-heavy offense, but what did Tennessee do? They passed it all over State today. And what did State do? Tennessee prepared for the pass, and what did State do? They ran it a lot on Tennessee today. So it was almost swapping identities, and I said that earlier in the broadcast. They were almost swapping identities, but you did not play well if you're Blake Shapen. And I think when we got towards the end of the game and Albert Reese got injured, I think that was a big factor in it because you had that much time we had left in the game, and Shapen wasn't getting a lot of protection, especially on that right side, and even on the left side. The tackles just weren't playing particularly well, and you want your tackles to play well when you're passing the ball. You're passing offense. You want your tackles to be a staple in there, and we just didn't get that, especially when Albert Reese got off the field for injury.
Yeah, with that hurt with Reese, and also, too, Shapen got hit from his blind side. I think out of the 5 sacks, I think 3 or 4 of them were blindside sacks, so I don't want to pick on him, but Jimothy Lewis did not have the greatest of ball games. One of those blindside sacks ended up in a fumble, scoop, and score. So, Jimothy, he didn't play very well there. I think he ended up playing more snaps overall, and Javen James ended up moving to right tackle for Mississippi State. Whoever was at that left tackle position during the game, they got ate up. I mean, the Tennessee's edge rushers did a very good job in the ball game. So you got to look at that and kind of see and kind of adjust and be like, who's the best guy? Who can we put out there to give us the best chance? You got to really focus on that at the left tackle position if you're Mississippi State, because part of the reason we lost is because we gave up some sacks, and a lot of them were from the blind side.
And we addressed these concerns. We said that State has had a different starting offensive line every game this season, and we knew that it was going to be concerning because you're trying guys out and nothing is sticking. And that was the big issue today. I mean, you take away those sacks, you take away those, even the strip sack for the touchdown, you see a different ball game. And I know we're talking hypothetical here, but it really would have been a different ball game because you played complete enough to where you could have beat a 15th ranked Tennessee Volunteer team. I mean, you were right there neck and neck with them. And I told you earlier, if State were to be ranked after this week, it would make me happier because they understand how hard fought we had this game. They understand that we pretty much deserve a ranking, especially if they're going to put Arizona State up there. Why not put State up there as well?
I don't know if we'll get a ranking after a loss. It'd definitely be an interesting decision. I think people now realize, though, across the country and especially in the SEC that this is a team in Mississippi State that is far from where they were last year. Definitely played really, really well. So definitely something. We'll just look at the rest of just kind of think about the rest of the schedule now. You're in SEC play for the rest of the season. You go to Texas A&M next week, and then you have a bye week, and then you go to Florida. I think, and then eventually you get back on after the Florida game. You come back home and play Texas on October 25th. I mentioned A&M won the night 16-10 over Auburn. Just looking at that score, seemed like it was kind of a clunker. They just didn't play very well tonight. I'd have to go back and watch and see, just how they played in general. But I think you probably feel pretty good about how you can go in there and play next week in College Station. I'm excited to go there. I'll be there with my buddy Britt, but I'm excited to go to that ball game next week. Not just because it's a new place to go see and everything, but I'm excited really now to go watch this football team play because I feel like they can go in there next week and have a really good shot. And then you look at, and I'll let you think, what do you think about next week? And then we'll kind of digest, the rest of the schedule.
Well, that's what you want to see. You want to see improvement week to week, and I think that's what we've had for Mississippi State. You go to College Station next week, and they're not talking about, we got an easy win against Mississippi State. They're talking about, we have to prepare for Mississippi State, especially when you have a player like Fluff Bothwell who rushed 23 attempts, 134 yards, and 2 touchdowns. The running game was there. In A&M, week to week, it looks like their passing game has just gotten worse and worse and worse. You have that Notre Dame victory, and Marcel Reed looked fantastic. And you're saying, look, Marcel Reed's going to be the guy for SEC for A&M, and it looked like that. But these past couple of weeks, he really hasn't played that well, and I think you can take advantage of that. I think you can capitalize on that because you had plays where you capitalized and you made great decisions, and if you can do that next week against College Station against A&M, I think you have a really, really good shot. And I know you're excited. I'm excited to watch it from the comfort of my own home with my feet propped up on the recliner instead of coming here for Davis Wade Stadium about 5 or 6 hours. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be an exciting time.
Mentioned Marcel Reed maybe not playing as well over the past 2 weeks. Tonight against Auburn, 15 of 22, 207 yards, no touchdowns, and a pick. He
a little struggle there.
See what he did rushing the ball. Really wasn't a factor at all. 7 carries for negative 23 yards. That's mostly counting sacks. So it looks like maybe Auburn was able to get to the quarterback a lot on against A&M's offensive line. So maybe State will have a chance next week to be able to get to the quarterback again. I thought State, and I'd have to look at the numbers of it, but I thought we hurried and pressured the quarterback a lot tonight, which was something I thought was going to be difficult because we haven't done that much this season. We mixed some things up. with bringing different guys. I thought some guys played well tonight defensively. I feel like, Zachary Tillman was really good for Mississippi State tonight. Brandon Jennings was really good for the Bulldogs tonight. He led the team in tackles with 10. But Tillman, 6 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, a sack, and an interception. I mean, he played really well. You look at Tyler Lockhart, too, off the bench. Lockhart, a freshman on this team, I believe. Let me make sure I'm right. Yeah, I believe
he's a flip commit.
Flip from Ole Miss. He comes to Mississippi State, a freshman on this team, makes 6 tackles tonight. He was in the ball game a lot. So Jerron Manning had a good pass breakup towards the end of the ball game. Unfortunately, it didn't matter, but he broke up 3 passes tonight. So you had some guys play really well defensively. I thought up front, I thought Dinkins was really good. I thought Deron Reed was really good. A couple of other guys were pretty good tonight. So, we'll see what State can do next week in terms of rushing the quarterback. But I forgot to mention that when we were talking about the game tonight. I thought we did a good job of at least putting pressure on Aguilar.
And you did. You had 2 picks. I mean, there's no other testament to that but pressure. But I will say, Kelly Jones didn't really excite me too much tonight. I mean, they ended up swapping him off of Brazel halfway through the game, tried Brumfield, put a Jefferson on him a couple times.
Jefferson played a lot better, too.
Yeah, he did. And Kelly Jones just really didn't perform as well as I thought he would have.
Yeah, he had a tough first half. Brazel had 4 catches for around 70 yards in the first half. That was a lot. He was accountable for most of Tennessee's yards in the first half, but accountable for a lot of their drives being continued just because Tennessee really thrived on big plays and explosive plays in the first half to get them down there. And, he was the guy that helped get him down there. So he had a really good first half. Jones, I think you're right. He struggled in the ball game. Maybe he can make up for that next week. He'll go against, a familiar opponent in Mario Craver, who transferred from Mississippi State to Texas A&M. I believe he's first in the SEC in receiving yards this season.
Before. I don't know if he is now, but, entering this week, he was first.
And then you have, I believe it's Casey Concepcion is there. I think that's their other wide receiver as well, transfer from NC State. I believe that's it. I might be mixing up my guys with another team, but they have another transfer receiver there as well who's pretty good. But Mario, I think it's Concepcion, but also Mario Craver has been good this season. So next week, it'll be a very interesting ball game. But I think there's no reason if you're Mississippi State, especially if you're a Mississippi State, just in terms of a fan standpoint, there's no reason you can't. There's no reason to think that you can't come into the ball game next week and have a chance like you did against Tennessee tonight.
I would keep your chin up. Keep your head held high. There's a lot of fans out there that's probably not going to remember this weekend after they get what's going to happen tonight. You lose a ball game this close. Some people get moody, and you see what happens. But for us, we can say that I could see this optimistically. It was a little bit heartbreaking when you saw Tennessee score on the first play of overtime and State not being able to do the same. But you can take a lot of good away from this, and you can take away a lot of improving type of factor that you could do before you go to A&M next week. There's a lot you can do for this game, but overall I could say you could take more good than you did bad because you improved in areas you hadn't seen before in the first 4 games this season before Tennessee.
Well, you can take a lot of good from this ball game, but you got to take the bad and be able to adjust and go out and play the right way next week against A&M to be able to have a chance. You look at State's remaining schedule. You have a bye week after A&M next week, and then you go to Florida. Florida is a team that's struggling right now. Napier's on the hot seat down there in Gainesville. So that's a team that's struggling right now. You feel like they're a very vulnerable team you can go maybe beat, and you have after Florida you host Texas. Texas has struggled offensively this season. I mean, they're a good football team, but they have not been near what they were predicted to be offensively. Arch Manning has really struggled at quarterback, and then the rest of your home games you have Georgia and Ole Miss. I think you could play with those two. Ole Miss with a big win today over LSU, but I think you can play with those two teams. If you played with Tennessee tonight, I don't see why you can't play with those two teams. And then you look at your other road games besides A&M and Florida. You go on the road to Arkansas, who lost bad today to Notre Dame. Sam Pittman also on the hot seat. So that's a team that seems like they're very vulnerable. So you win those two against those hot seat coaches again in Florida and Arkansas. You're going bowling, and then you also have Missouri on the road towards the end of the season on November 15th. So there's a lot of opportunities this season. I think I don't want to make any sort of predictions or anything, but I can say right now I feel like this team will go to a bowl game. If I had to put money down right now, I would bank it on Mississippi State going to a bowl game. I think they're a good enough team to win 2 more games out of the 7 games left on the schedule.
And you'd love to see a bowl game, but I don't want to get too ahead of ourselves. We started 4-0, and now fans are thinking that we're going to go undefeated the rest of the season, and I don't want to get too hype on that. I just want to see improvement. If you make a bowl game, Levy might be up there. He'll probably win SEC Head Coach of the Year. He might be up there for National Head Coach of the Year, and you'd love to see that because now you understand that you can trust what Levy is building. You understand the culture he's creating here in Starkville, and you can confidently say, hey, we got a good one here at Davis Wade Stadium.
Yeah, I think just – even me saying that I think we can go to a bowl game, and I'm sure that's a lot of the fan base is thinking that probably right now. I think a lot of the conference and a lot of people nationally probably think that right now with the way we played in big games. You played really well. You played well enough to win in big games, and in the games that you should win, you've handled business against Southern Miss, against Alcorn, against Northern Illinois. So I think that's just I feel like it's a general consensus is that State can make a bowl game, and I think that speaks volumes to the job that Jeff Levy has done. But we're going to wrap up the post-game show here. Any final thoughts before we head off air, Connor? I know we're not going to be on the here at Davis Wade for a while, so any final thoughts?
Just keep improving, man. I just want to see improvement of this Mississippi State team. I said it last year throughout the season. I just want to see improvement, and if you can do that, I can be optimistic going into each week. Week to week, improve. Don't get worse. You need to work on your offensive line just a little bit going into next week. But if we don't get to call another game again this season, I have really appreciated my time with you, Ty, and I'm very blessed and fortunate to have this opportunity to call the game with you, and I love being up here, man. It's a surreal experience, and I love college football, especially Mississippi State.
It was very fun to call this one a barn burner. I mean, it's just one of those games you dream about calling. You wish State could have won the ball game, but that's neither here nor there. But just a fun game to call. We do, again, I want to last time I'll apologize for the technical issues we had during the ball game. We had to stop the stream for multiple times. It wasn't us. I don't want to blame anybody, but I will say the Wi-Fi here cut in and out on us like throughout the second half, and it really starting at halftime. So we do apologize for that. That was something that we can't do anything about it. So our producer Josh Wilson did a good job of managing everything. Proud of him tonight. He did a really good job with fixing that and making sure we were able to be live, and also making the stream look good and be able to have the score and have the post game and halftime stats up on the screen. So we appreciate him tonight. And again, just one last apology for having to start and stop streams and create new streams for the ball game. So hopefully they'll fix the internet. We'll be okay the next time. And when we come back here to broadcast the Texas game on October 25th. But I guess that'll wrap it up here at
Budget cuts
from Davis Wade Stadium. Now Mississippi State athletics, I'll say just one more, had a pretty good, other than football, had a pretty good weekend so far. One more game this weekend for state athletics. Volleyball takes on Auburn tomorrow, but volleyball with an upset over number 19 Florida last night. That was a big win. And
rank them.
And then soccer with a win on the road at Missouri. So a good week for those two teams so far. We talked about that in our mock podcast that we did during the week. We're going to be starting a new podcast for the Bulldog Student Sports Network. Going to call it the Bulldog Breakdown. So we're excited. We are excited for that to come out. That should be coming out next week. I I don't want to tell you the date because I don't want. I just want to be 100% sure before I tell you. So we were thinking around Wednesday or around Thursday it will be released. So we're excited for that and we'll be able to cover all the different Mississippi State athletics that we can. But appreciate you listening to us tonight. If you haven't already, follow us on Instagram at Bulldog Student Sports Network. Follow us on X at BSSN_MSU for live tweets and updates about Mississippi State athletic events. And be sure to subscribe to us here on YouTube and click that notification bell. That way you get a notification anytime we go live. I always say, think of it as ringing a cowbell if you're a State fan. It'll make sure you'll have an instant notification on your phone when we go live or when we start a video, or now when we post a podcast, you'll be able to watch that as quickly as you want to, and you'll be notified of it. So be sure to follow us on all our socials. I appreciate y'all listening to us tonight. Things didn't go Mississippi State's way, but I think it was a good for when we could be on air without the Wi-Fi cutting out. It was a good broadcast all around. So appreciate everyone tuning in tonight. For Josh Wilson, our producer, and Connor Davis, my color commentator, I am Ty Goldman, your play-by-play announcer, signing off. Mississippi State falls 41-34. They fall to 4-1 overall and 0-1 in SEC play as they head to College Station to take on the Fighting Texas Aggies next weekend. Thank you, Hail State, and have a good night.